Hello everyone, welcome back to Batmania. I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Eric.
And today we're going to tackle the Lego Batman movie, the actual Lego Batman movie, Eric. And this is...
the movie you saw twice in one day.
This is a wonderful parody, but as we talked about last time, I'm not sure if it's actually a better Batman parody than the first Adam West movie, and you straight up say it's not as good as that.
Yes, I do.
Which is really amusing.
So it's really unfortunate for this movie comes out after the Lego movie and Return of the Cape Crusaders.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. I don't want to start this on a downer, but it's unfortunate the stuff that that's really funny that's in this that it does really well that movie already did, but it does plenty of other stuff also, and so that's good. But I'm sure we will have a great deal of fun watching this together. Eric and I once again, of course,
have you gone back to this?
Saw this in the theater. Yeah, a few times actually.
Okay, I have not gone back to it since theaters.
Oh, okay, cool.
I mean, like, I like this movie, but I had no desire to go back to it.
Really?
Yeah. There's not a lot of substance in that in the way that there is in the Lego movie. Like, I've gone back to the Lego movie a number of times.
I don't agree with that.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think it's as substantial. You're right, but I think the character arc is compelling enough, and I think the psychology for as jokey as this is for Batman is wonderfully consistent. And my favorite thing about it, I mean, yeah, the meta thing doesn't work as well as far as like you have to kind of forget the kid playing with action figures bit of it, which is unfortunate. But like getting away from that, just the fact that he kind of is like psychotic Frank Miller Batman until he learns his family lesson. I like that a lot. I like that it's kid friendly All-Star Batman. That's hysterical.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't want to say like I don't like this movie. I do like this movie. It's just like the Lego movie is a great movie, and this is a good kids movie.
Yeah, but I don't fully agree with that. I don't think you've looked at it enough.
Okay,
that's
fair. This is what I remember from theaters.
I mean, yeah, sure, but you saw it the one time.
Yeah.
And the Lego movie, I don't know that you had exactly that experience the first time you saw it either.
I thought it was profound the first time I saw it.
Yeah, I mean, I did too, but I'm just saying I didn't know if you had that.
Yeah,
but,
no, I totally had that. I was like, this is important. Everyone has to see this.
This is like profound in that same way, but I don't think it's completely fair to compare them that way either. You know what I mean? To expect that every time they make one. You know what I mean?
I don't think that's unfounded. If you're going to put one of these out a year, quality control, keep it up. If you set the bar here, I want it here every time.
Yeah, but that sort of thing is impossible with the same material every time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, like this functions as a spin-off and a sequel kind of simultaneously.
That's true. But I will hold Lego Movie 2 to that standard. Lego Movie 2 needs to be profound. I need to walk out of Lego Movie 2 feeling like my life has changed, because that's why I walked out of the first one.
Yeah, well, you know me, I like to hold things to on their own terms, and I mean, like, you know, when you have, I mean, I want to be careful, when you have movies that are like continuing a story, and like you know, you set up particular standards and you hold yourself to those standards, but then at the same time, like, this isn't trying to do all the things the Lego movie. Like, it's about different things.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying? And so like you also don't want like a carbon copy. Like, if it tried to do that, if it was like, oh, we were like really profound last time, people said that about us. How many things have you seen where people said it was brilliant and then the next movie pretends to be brilliant?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
We've seen that in this run of commentary.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, yes, we have. so again, I guess we're just reviewing this again.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you. I don't think this is as good as the Lego movie. I wouldn't have expected that either.
I was kind of hoping.
Yeah. But at least it was about stuff and, like, was an actual story. Which,
yeah, but all of that, yeah, we can talk about it. But, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It feels like all that stuff is real, like, kid movie stuff, whereas the Lego movie is, like, real deep and philosophical about life and humanity and has things to say. This has nothing to say about people. It's the characters within it, which I guess is fine, but I came in expecting something more like Lego Movie.
Yeah. Well, then don't watch Ninjago, because it doesn't have that at all.
Yeah, but I have no expectations for Ninjago.
But it's another one of these.
Yeah, but I loved Lego Batman in the Lego movie. I came in.
Right.
Like, I have no into Ninjago.
Right. But you just said every one of these should be that profound.
Yeah, but they've already told me that's not going to be.
Yeah, okay, well, fair enough. Anyway, if you want to watch it with
They have now lowered the bar, and I'm expecting this one now.
I feel like I'm having to be an apologist for this movie now, all of a sudden.
No, it's a good movie.
But anyway, if you want to watch this with us, get out your DVD and Blu-ray.
We just reviewed it.
However you want to watch it with us, get it at timestamp 0, pass all the menus, and get ready to press play whatever I say now. Here we go. Let's get right into it. Everybody, please press play right now. Eric and I are just going to argue about the quality of this movie the entire time we're watching it.
Have we had a commentary or just argue? I don't think we've had that. No one expected it to be this one.
But yeah, I think this film has some different, like, give me one second. I think there's a different mission statement here, you know, than the Lego Movie. Like the Lego Movie comes out and is like, we've got to talk about like our product and what it what it does for people and what it means to people and that kind of thing. And this has to tell a story and be a Batman parody simultaneously. It's just kind of you know, about trying different things than that.
Well, and I also don't like the ending the way you do. I came in being like, okay, give me a Lego Batman movie, and they did not give me that by the end of this. And like,
what do you mean?
I don't need it to be multiversal. Let the Lego movies be the multiversal things. I don't need this to cross over with anything else. And that takes away from it being a Batman parody for me.
Yeah. But again, you're... I guess the issue is you're having to, you know...
I'll give you that joke once.
Yeah, that's a running gag I didn't care for. Going off of that last movie, if you want to try to be consistent at all, it does make sense that you're mixing with other Lego kits, and so I gave it that for that. And of course, it's just stuff that they have licenses for.
But it makes the Lego movies less special. Like, I think it's way cooler if you do all these spin-off movies, and the Lego movies are where everything crosses.
Yeah, but that's mostly still true.
Yeah, but it's the entire third act of the movie is just like a bunch of other things. Like, and some of that works, and like, I don't know, a lot of my issues with this movie are things I'm like, yeah, it kind of works, but it's not what I wanted.
Yeah, okay.
But
I guess I was just kind of, you know, like along for the ride and like giving it its own terms more than you were. I didn't have massive expectations going into this, I suppose. Like, it's just the Lego Movie was so good, I kind of expected they knew what they were doing. And, I mean, I'm not saying I would have liked it no matter what it was. I'm just saying that, like, I didn't walk in with, like, a laundry list, like, it should be this and this, like...
Well, I didn't walk in with a laundry list, I just wanted it to be really good, but I did roll my eyes the first time I saw, like, when they show, like, all the villains, I'm like, oh, we're doing other things? I thought this was a Batman movie.
See, I thought that was fun because... when they first reveal it, I didn't even catch exactly what was going on yet. So like when they like and on a second viewing, I was like, oh yes, of course that's what it was.
I want to say I knew, but I can't for sure say that.
Yeah.
His head's twisted like all the way around. So in the Lego universe, do heads hold sentience?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Because could you swap a head and that be a disguise? Like, could Legos be perfectly disguised as another person by switching their head? Or is their heads where they are as a being?
Yeah, I mean, we're reading way too far into it at that point. And these are just, you know, things that kids are playing with. So that's a question to ask for Lego Batman the movie before it's this, right?
That's true. That's true.
Catwoman just says meow meow all the time. Their Clayface design is really fun, and I've seen that set, and that's a really fun set. I'd love to build that. I like the intensity of the opening of this, where it's trying really hard to be and you know, making fun of course, the tone of the Nolan movies really hard, while making references to just everything.
Hey, this gets to Kite Man before Tom King does, right?
Yeah, but it gets to everybody before lots of things do. And what's really cool is they made sets for everything in this movie.
You can get all of these.
Like, they're still making sets for things that they didn't quite get to in this movie. And, yeah, so all those minifigs are now physical minifigs of, like, really super obscure...
like Egghead.
Yeah, but there's stuff way more obscure than Egghead, because at least he was Vincent Bryson in the TV show and in a bunch of episodes.
That's true. They had Kite Man, who until recently was not a known Batman villain.
What's funny is, he's just laughing, but Egghead gets a voice in this, and he does not in the Adam West movies.
So are all of the villains in this completely designed for this, or is...
Yes.
Okay. So, like, there is no Joker or Harley or Bane or anything that looks like this. They redesigned everyone.
Yeah, we redesigned everybody, and we went for straight up Dark Knight Rises Bane, which is fantastic.
Yes, yes.
And honestly, he could have gotten more lines of dialogue. That's hysterical. The first person POV cop car, because that's very Nolan, and we're doing that Dark Knight Rises music. And of course, it's got to open with an airplane. I know you don't like this Joker as well as I do, but I think it's fun how just super insecure he is, and him as Batman's foil, like the Joker always is kind of interesting because he's this particular Batman's foil, and both of them have these kind of massive insecurities and are wanting. Yeah, I did something. Yeah, that's one of the funniest lines in the entire movie. But they kind of just both want a lot of attention and need someone to love them, and I like that they built him from the ground up, looking at what they had with the Batman they made up for the Lego Movie.
I just don't think he's a very compelling villain or funny, and so he doesn't resonate with me.
Sure, but that's part of the point, right? Is that he's
And I think all the relationship stuff is really obvious, and like that's what we always do with Batman and the Joker. So I was like, well, that's not new for me. Like I'm sure some people they're like, oh, Batman and the Joker's like a relationship. I didn't have that because I've seen that a lot.
Yeah, but I guess that is where the kids playing with action figure thing kind of works.
Yeah,
where it's like a kid's interpretation of that whole thing because he knows that's supposed to be part of it. I mean, like you've got to look at parody married with the storytelling, right?
I think we talked about when we came out of this that like I'm really worried about that kid's parents, if that's what he's doing with his Batman and his Joker. Because some of these terms he would not come up with on his own, unless like his mom watches soap operas.
Well, and that's why it breaks down. It doesn't totally work because, of course, I mean, I don't want to go too far with it, but like. All these minifigs and stuff didn't exist before this, but then I'm okay with him living in a world where just Batman is so popular, all that stuff has finally come out. You know what I mean? I guess that works.
You know what? You know what I like about their Bane? He's like, Dark Knight Rises Bane, but he has the full mask like he should have.
Yeah, they do enough deep pull references and stuff. Like this kid could not possibly know.
This kid does not know about the serial Batman.
Yeah,
this, from the
well, he might. No, that's not even as deep pull. There's some like comic book things here and there where I'm like, there's no way you know what that is.
That kid should not know who the mutants are. That's not okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. No, anything that was ever on screen, I might give it. Like maybe he saw the cereal at a Walmart or something.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like he might have just seen a cover, but hasn't actually watched the thing.
Maybe you shouldn't blare a song about how you're a billionaire if you have a secret identity.
Well, that's part of the joke is that we make it really obvious that he's Bruce Wayne, but nobody can tell because that's just the rules of this universe. Because they have the whole thing about like, you know, Joker being at where Wayne Manor is, and he's like, wait. Wayne Manor is in the same place as the Batcave.
Oh, I did not remember that.
Yeah.
Was that?
And he just doesn't figure it out. Yeah, Boomerang's in there. And then we got Billy D. Williams to voice Two-Face for like 3 lines.
Yeah.
It was cool of them to do it, but
Well, and that was the thing I was really excited for going into this movie. That was like maybe my most exciting thing. Was like we finally get Billy D. Williams Two-Face.
I didn't expect him to get any screen time or anything though. Two-Face always gets shafted.
Yeah.
Until we finally made a movie called Batman vs. Two-Face, and it was 60s Batman. But yeah, he always gets shafted. I mean, remember, they sold Arkham City real hard on him.
Yeah, I guess they did.
He's hardly in that. I mean, like, he doesn't have, like, a big, giant subplot or anything.
I think Two-Face is actually a really hard villain to write.
Yeah, I think he is, too. No, I totally agree with that. I honestly expected this movie to perform a little bit better than it did. I mean, it made money. It did okay.
Did just do okay?
But I kind of thought it was going to be a lot bigger. Well, for their budget, it did great.
Yeah,
but you know, I thought maybe like even just because it's Batman, the Lego Movie was so popular, I thought it had a shot at like 80 or 90 million opening weekend. I don't think it did that well.
Well, it could have been. I think it had the potential to be bigger than Lego Movie, box office wise, because Lego Movie set such a high standard, and people already love Batman, and so yes, we love this movie and we love Batman. So yes, of course, we will all go see this movie.
Yeah, and then the question is, did BVS help or hurt it?
Yeah.
You know, because this was after that, and which is weird, right? Like, you'd expect this to be your February or March movie,
yeah.
But it was after that.
Well, no, it is. It was a February or March movie. It was just the following year, right? Right?
I thought this was the same year as that. Am I wrong? Was this just last year?
Yeah,
this was just last year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because remember, we were so surprised that they were able to get a BVS reference into this movie because BVS...
Yeah, no, of course. No, forgive me. I'm off tonight. But yeah, like, I don't know why you think it's so important for Joker in this movie to be a really compelling villain, because it's not even his master plan or anything, right? Like...
Yeah, I guess so.
Like, Batman can't see him as lame and, like, in his own little world about their relationship if he's really compelling. Like, he's just a real needy guy, and I think that's a really funny take on it. I'm not saying it's, like, one of my favorite Jokers or anything, but I think for this material, it was a really good, smart fit. And I like his look a lot. I like the sharp teeth. And
I do like his look. Well, in part, I think a lot of it is I don't like the voice actor that much. Like, not like as an actor, I don't even know who does the voice. I don't think it's a great voice, and maybe I'd like the character a little bit more if he had more personality to his voice.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, and I don't mean to just, like, not be critical at all of this material, but I feel like there's stuff that you're critical of that I just wouldn't even think to question, you know what I mean? Like...
I'm pretty sure one of those, I'm pretty sure that minifig is one of the NSYNC guys, or Backstreet Boys.
That's
he looks
funny.
just like him, and I'm not sure.
Like, on purpose?
Yeah, possibly.
You're just wondering if that was on purpose?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Funny.
I think it's Joey Fatone. I think he kind of looks like Joey Fatone.
Jason has the Speedwagon. We just haven't put it together yet.
Is that the one you've had for a year?
Yeah, we just haven't put it together yet. And now I'm in the middle of a giant Technodrome, so I don't know when that's going to happen, but... The whole thing about all of the Batman movies being just like different phases in Batman's life, I think is simultaneously funny and also completely breaks down if you start thinking about it at all, and you have to just not do that.
Well, that's kind of how Grant Morrison views Batman.
Sure, yeah.
It all works
but I just
once
mean in this because like okay, so this claims that all those things happen and like within this world context, I guess, but that is Dick Grayson. Like it doesn't work.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And again, I'm not even saying it's a problem. It's just being referenced. It's just being referencey
and not thinking about
it. Yeah. So I'm not really saying it's a problem.
Unless we never mention Batman Forever and Batman Robin.
No, they do.
Okay, well,
it's all in the sequence.
Well, this kid is an idiot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And he just wants his cake and to eat it too.
Wayne Manor on Wayne Island. It's great. I just love how everything is super exaggerated, and I like how much of a. I think one of the things that immediately impressed me about this is all the things that we reinvent, and that we do new origins for things, and we don't just make it everything that you've always known, because it's this is still about imagination, like Lego Batman or like Lego Movie was, even though that's not like the entire movie like that film is. And so again, if you're thinking about it like a kid playing with his Legos, it's fun that he is imagining all this all of this a little bit differently.
I think the brilliant thing about the Lego movies is I can't actually complain about story or character problems because what am I going to do? Pick on a 10-year-old?
Yeah, except especially with with the Lego Movie, that kid has an astounding vocabulary.
Yeah, yeah.
And that becomes kind of problematic.
Are there? I feel like there's a lot of really fun cars there, but it's so small on the screen. But I feel like in the theater, I was like, oh, and there's that car.
We should have watched this upstairs. You're right. This is a mistake. This and it's a testament to it that this is you don't have a satisfying of an experience watching this on a smaller screen.
Okay, so I think this is a weird joke. Like this is not like a thing I have. Like just now I'm looking at it.
Sure.
Like we don't. This isn't what we picture Batman in when he's home. So the idea that he just has like walls of these is like, well, this is what Batman's always in when he's home. That's weird, right? It should be turtlenecks. It should be just a wall. It should just be walls and walls of turtlenecks.
Well, yeah, but I like the idea that he's so casual, he's that comfortable. Like, I mean, that's why it is.
No, that's fair.
There's a lot of random humor that I really like in this that goes to almost kind of a Space Ghost kind of plays. Just that, like, lobster thermidor is his favorite food for no reason. I think that's hilarious.
Clown Snakes does not work.
What's that?
Clown Snakes does not work.
Clown Snakes does not work. Well, it's because it's not random.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
It's like it's the most obvious random thing you can go to, and also his villain is a clown.
He's a clown, and he's not scared of him at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have criticisms. I really do. No, this started in a weird place. I don't know why we started so argumentative with this movie. I'm sorry. I don't know why that happened.
Well, because I'm not as high on that as you are. But...
Well, and I was just giddy in the theater. It's one of those first experiences you can never have again.
Yeah.
You know, of course, obviously that's an obvious thing to say, but like, I'm not as high on it as I was the first time I saw it.
Well, and also,
because, you know, I'm kind of
maybe
used to it now, but
I want to make this all your fault.
It is not rewatchable like the Lego Movie is. I have not been itching to keep going back and rewatching this over and over again. The Lego Movie I do kind of have that with, but like when I've rewatched this, it's been showing people, or it's been because I was showing it to people, or because I was on an airplane. I did watch this.
Did he just start in the middle of the movie, or at the end of the movie? Like,
yeah. Maybe it was paused. Maybe he was coming back to it.
Okay, but I know this movie. There's like 10 minutes left in this movie. Like, why is he?
I don't.
I love Jerry Maguire,
but that's a huge movie trope.
That's
right?
a huge movie trope.
We just get into
the scene that we want.
Yeah. But anyway, what were you saying? What is my fault? What is maybe my fault?
I don't want to put this all on you.
Yeah,
but,
sure. We're about to get to the photo right before his parents' murder, which is just... yes! It's the best! You know what it is? I don't mean to reference my own stuff too much. You know what that is, though? It's the Doomsman's wedding photo in Spawn. That's what that is. Anyway, I'm sorry, go ahead.
But so you went and saw this movie, and you picked me up from work, and then we went and saw the movie again.
Yeah.
And you
saw
told me
twice in one night.
it's the most beautiful thing you'd ever seen.
Well, that's how I felt.
You set a really high bar that I might already have had.
Well, it's just all the like I said, I think the story's really good, but I was on that high because of all the references and stuff. You know, it was much more that they made a real Batman thing, which I wasn't fully sure we were gonna do. Like okay, we knew about all the minifigs of like random Deadpool characters and stuff, but I didn't know if that would translate to the script as well. You know, and it did. Like I feel like it's one of those experiences where I felt like they made it for me.
No, I get that.
In a really similar way that I had with Return of the Cape Crusaders. See, I don't know why they did that.
Yeah.
That was a weird
Why
choice.
is that the weird one? Not Batman Returns, not Batman and Robin.
Not just that, but why is it live action? Why couldn't we have had the Lego 60s Batman? I don't understand that.
Because it was the 60s, and like psychedelics and stuff, so he perceived himself as a 3D human
Okay,
being.
that's funny. No, that I like that. I'll go with that interpretation. That's fun. I also really appreciate like obviously all the different eras of Batman that we're poking fun at and referencing, but in such a way where we clearly get the serious stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this isn't the campy '60s Batman. It's a parody that's for people who like Dark Batman, which again I think is kind of a shame because I don't think a lot of those people went and saw this. I really get the sense that it was mostly families.
Mm-hmm.
So part of
yeah, I don't think this sold well to like Batman fans.
You know why I'm struggling with this a little bit? It's because I'm having a hard time going back and putting myself in my shoes from having seen the Lego Movie and wondering what this was going to be like. That Batman is not referencing anything from actual Batman.
No.
You know, in that, which is fun and you know, part of the joke. And like, I like that. I've said this before, but in the Lego Movie, whatever kid is making, or well, we know the kid, we see him at the end, but the kid that's putting that together doesn't seem to know anything about Batman, because in his song he says he's in a basement, not in a cave, like going all the way to that, where it's just like he doesn't know anything about Batman. So I didn't know how that would translate. And again, this would have to be like a different kid playing with the figures, and I don't want to read too much into all that, but like, I just didn't know if it would actually really be much of a Batman thing.
Well, and that's another reason I don't think we should have gone multiversal in this, is...
Yeah?
Let's just not think about the kids playing with the toys, except for the Lego movies. Like you can read into
you
it,
have
but it
to with this, though, because it's a spin-off character. Like, it is the version that kid came up with. So anyway you slice it, even if they didn't go multiversal, I would still be thinking that.
Yeah,
like, this
but
came
I feel like
from
it draws
a kid's
attention
mind.
to it in a way it doesn't need to. Also,
I see what you're saying. That I wanted us to draw attention to it, though, in a smart way. That like that's what
I don't think they're really thinking about it. Not as much as they did with the Lego Movie.
Yeah. No, you're right, and it's not the same kinds of universes. You know, it's not the generic universes that you had in the Lego Movie. They're not going to that. But I also don't know if this. Again, the problem is it can't be the same kid. Because you know unless that kid within a couple years just became obsessed with Batman.
His dad sat him down to watch all the Batman movies.
He built a CD rack. I built a CD rack. That is also one of my favorite lines in this movie. Also the Superman and the Green Lantern are the same character, right?
But I want more of it. I want the Superman Green Lantern movie.
Yeah, I know you do. Yeah,
I love Superman Green Lantern.
I feel like that could get real old real fast, but
yeah, and then no. This is like me saying I don't care if they're bad. I'll see every Star Wars movie 10 times in theaters, just as long as it's Star Wars. No, I don't actually want a Superman Green Lantern movie.
I think the big reason that we went for villains from other properties in the Phantom Zone is because they're trying to make it accessible to people who don't care about Batman but saw this because of the Lego Movie, and they're hoping to appeal to other things that they like that Warner's has licenses
I
for.
just don't know if that's a demographic that exists. Everyone likes Batman. Everyone sees the Batman movies. If they came into the thing, that I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah. But that's the sense I get from it.
Yeah.
And well the point
like,
I'm
fine
making
with
is
Ninjago or whatever.
Well, the point I'm making is that would be a perfectly fair criticism to lob at it. It's like you're just trying to be accessible to a larger demographic.
Does Ninjago go multi?
He doesn't bring in a bunch of other stuff.
See, that makes me even more annoyed.
Well, yeah, but they kind of make it a reveal in this. You wouldn't want to do that again.
Yeah.
I love the Michael Jackson stuff. My kid is of course a giant Michael Jackson fan, and he just lost his mind at the beginning of this with the Man in the Mirror lyric.
He could probably...
Children can be cruel.
He could probably win a Michael Jackson trivia contest, right?
With other 7-year-olds.
I thought he knew a lot about
him. He does know quite a bit, yeah. If you're just talking about songs and albums, yeah, he'd do pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously not about his life.
But yeah, I really like this take, especially for a parody, on Dick Grayson. We can talk about that in a minute. This is a gag I don't care for.
I don't like the 80s. I feel like we have just given up trying to actually have context. We're just like, 80s song. This is how it... Isn't it funny? And
that's not the problem with it for me, because I was won over by it in the Lego Movie. We did this already. That's the problem, is we did this with Wild Style, and now we're doing it again.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a running gag in this, too. And
you never been fine once? You just this scene?
Even that I would have questioned a little bit just because we did it last time. But yeah, the fact that it keeps going, I felt like we were leaning too much on gags we've done before. And we don't do it a ton, but my fear was moving forward with these, we were going to have those gags that we always do. And then you get into Lego Ninjago, and it has that problem.
Oh.
Where it doesn't do that again, I don't think. I've seen that one time, and it didn't stick with me. That movie was pretty unforgettable. Besides a couple of jokes, and I enjoyed it, but it sags in places, and I just
see. I feel like that's kind of my experience with this movie. Like I don't know.
I don't know. This is punchier than that, though, and of course you didn't see.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I don't have a comparison.
But this is a lot punchier. This is a joke every 30 seconds, and most of it plays. This commercial I died at in the theater. It's so funny. With compassion! She's from Bloodhaven!
Can I talk about the weird... And Bloodhaven's a great reference. Can I talk about the
using
weird...
statistics and compassion!
Can I talk about the weird thing with her design and this outfit?
Yeah, sure.
Because she looks like...
Oh, and that's Claire from the Netflix shows.
Yeah, no.
I'm just saying for people, for anybody who doesn't. You're not the only person watching this movie right now.
That's true.
Eric. I just thought we should mention it in case anybody...
She looks identical to Jezebel Jet in her first appearance in Morrison's Run. And I don't... Like... I want to believe there's something.
She's a Lego.
It's a purple dress with long black gloves. Her skin is dark bordering on orange, and her hair is bright red. She is Jezebel Jet from her first appearance in Morrison's Run. And I want there to be a thing there. And I can't find it.
Yeah. I mean, that's a remarkable coincidence, but I imagine it's just a coincidence.
No, I'm sure.
I don't know why you would do that.
If she turned out to be evil and working for the Black Glove, that'd be amazing. I would lose my mind in the theater.
One of the things that's great about this is the ways that we kind of that we point out the stuff that makes Batman less realistic, but is in every Batman thing, even the things we talk about as like really grounded. And I think that's super clever. Like I like having someone who comes into the police department. Well, and I also really like that it's Barbara Gordon, where she's like, yeah, my dad was great and all, but she doesn't like come out and say this. But the implication is, yeah, my dad worked with a vigilante, and I don't know why you would do that, and why doesn't he just come in and be a cop?
It cheats to make this point.
Yeah.
He doesn't catch any of the criminals. That's not a Batman thing. They make it not their fault, because the villains are their fault because they can't keep them in the prisons and the asylums. They cheat to make it Batman's fault.
Well, that's not cheating. That's just part of the comedy, you know. But
yeah, but it makes it feel like we don't actually have anything to say about.
No, it's not that. It's exaggerating it, because in serious Batman stuff, the problem is he catches them and then they just keep getting out, and then he catches them again. And so, like, why is his method any better than the police's method? Why doesn't he just be a cop?
Yeah, but make that point. I don't know. It feels.
Well, but also it's about that culture of dependence again, where it's like, you know, we just keep letting Batman solve all of our problems for us, and in a lot of serious Batman stuff, we circumvent that as much as humanly possible. But that often is a thing in every superhero thing, right? Where it's just like, you know, we have to write the police out in some way in order to make the superhero necessary.
Yeah.
And so this is saying, well, you know, is the superhero really necessary at all? Especially if it's someone like this version of Batman, but a lot of versions of Batman that aren't this exaggerated and silly like this, where he might not be doing it for the right reasons, for the best of intentions. And so I like that parody take on that, where you have a Batman where it's kind of just his world and you're living in it, but it really is because of his you know, fear of getting close to anyone. Like, I like that he's this narcissistic as a defense mechanism.
Mm.
And that's the thing about the psychology that I think is kind of compelling. Like, I appreciate that thing that we played for comedy in the first movie where we said, in Lego Movie, where we said, well, we'll just take the I'm Batman thing and take it to its, like, furthest possible, conclusion, where he's basically Tony Stark in a bat suit, but even crazier than that. And it gives him, like, a real actual motivation, like a real reason for being like that, and ties it to his classic comic book origin. I like that a lot.
It's the computer was like, this is the best vehicle for the situation. What situation wouldn't that be the best vehicle for?
It's pretty multi-purpose, the way in which he's condescending is really fun, where he pretends like he's giving you compliments and that he's working with you, but he's still in control all the time. This is where all the villains pounce on you now. They're all like, they all take you out now. They don't just stand around confused.
Yeah, why do they all stop? Why does this plan work out? Well, all the villains just like, yeah, we're not
this plan should not work. Yep.
Unless he communicated to them early, which he didn't.
I really like the tails. We never do the tails anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
That was fun. Harvard for police still just kills me. Did you just say blink?
Do we use...
that was unnecessary!
Can I complain about Comic King for a second?
No, absolutely.
Not in this.
I may have the same complaint.
He's not a real villain.
Right.
Stop acting like he's a ridiculous, stupid Batman
That's
villain.
my problem with it, too, yeah. I don't like that. I mean, they at least don't, like, address it. They just throw him in there.
I'm not complaining necessarily about in this, but I feel like Condiment King comes up a lot where it's like, Batman's stupid villains, like Condiment King.
Yeah, he's not a real villain. That's the whole point of that character.
If you watch the episode.
Yeah. And that's a real jokey episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think maybe story-wise the most inspired thing in this, and I think you could do this in a serious Batman thing, is the Commissioner Barbara before she becomes Batgirl. That's a really cool idea, and this is one of the greatest uses of One Is the Loneliest Number I've ever seen, which shows up in a lot of movies. I love it here so much. And then like they go into black and white, and Batman's the only thing in color besides the police lights and stuff. Like, I love this montage so much.
He's mostly in color. He's mostly black.
This is this is a great montage.
I actually think the Barbara Gordon thing works too well because I don't want her to be Batgirl at the end.
I had the same thing. Yeah.
She's a great character. She doesn't need to
I
be
almost
Batgirl.
wish she had, like, put the costume on for Batman's benefit and then just took it off at the end.
Are they rioting about no more crime?
That's the best.
That's like that's like after a sports game. Like if your team wins or loses, you riot. Do we use asylum and prison interchangeably throughout this movie? Because I bet a kid would.
I don't remember.
A kid probably would not understand because he said he's going to Arkham, but then he says he's going to jail.
maybe that is what we did. I like what we do with the truck with the Phantom Zone on the side that says Phantom's Own. We'll see that in a second. That's really clever. Like the Phantom's Own. But yeah, like I was talking about earlier, this in a really, comedic way, exposes how scary Batman is if his heart's not in the right place. And then when he goes to the Phantom Zone and the thing that the light in the sky that runs the Phantom Zone can't decide if he's a villain or not, I think that's really cool.
Do we make a joke about this being like every other superhero movie with a big beam in the sky?
I don't know if we actually come out and make a joke about it, but they're clearly making fun of that when they get there.
That's a great Bat computer.
Saying smoke bomb just completely negates the point of using a smoke bomb, and I love that. Smoke bomb!
Well, I mean, it defeats the surprise of it, but like you can still disappear in the smoke.
This is one of my favorite Batcaves now, just because of the absurdity of how enormous it is.
There's a problem with this, right? I remember us having an issue with the password thing. Where, like, later...
I can't remember what it is now.
Doesn't he just, like, use the computer later? There's something. I remember there being something with this.
There is some. I forget what exactly
There's a slight
it is.
plot hole with this.
Yeah, and the idea that that Batman never grew up and he's just a child, of course, is a thing. Is a question we ask about real Batman a lot. And so you give that guy who has no responsibility at all a child to raise, and it's mortifying. But you put it in this setting with Legos, and it's super silly, and you can get away with going as far with that as you want to.
Mm-hmm. Wow, stairs. That's how I felt when I first got to Kansas.
You're like, ooh, weather that's not just rain every day.
Now it's snow every day. It's supposed to be real bad this weekend.
Oh, good.
Or, no, it's tonight. I think it's supposed to be real bad tonight.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
For those that live in the Kansas area
Yeah,
and are aware that of the day we record this, it's the past, but
it's well in the past
tonight
now.
we're supposed to get hit by
I don't know why
a
we're talking
real
about
bad
this right
snowstorm.
now. well, anyway.
Does he come to the realization at the end of the movie that Alfred's his dad? That happens in this, right? Does it happen?
What do you mean? The realization. I don't know what that means.
They're like, Alfred's his, like, dad. His father figure.
I don't think there's like a moment where it's like I never thought of it that way. Like I'm not sure what we're talking about.
Oh, because we're kind of dealing with the fact that Batman doesn't realize it and Alfred does. Where he's like, you don't have a family, you don't care for anyone, how about having a surrogate son? Because Batman is his surrogate son.
Yeah, I don't think we just spell it out like that at the end, but I mean, like I said, I actually watched this more than the a couple times in the theater, but I don't have it memorized yet or anything.
Ooh, I like that Batmobile. It was the like 40s.
And there was like a big rig. It was like an 18-wheeler.
There's like a go-kart one. Not go-kart, but like a...
It's cool how much stuff you would have to just freeze frame to pick up on.
Yeah.
All the references and everything they're doing here. Yeah, like I said, 60s Batman did it before we did it. They did the train though.
They do have the Bat Train, but I don't think it's modeled after the actual Bat Train.
No, they
that's
just
a
made a
train.
train. Which means they might not even know there is one.
Yeah.
They might have just because I mean there's also a dune buggy and I don't know if that was any place and an 18-wheeler.
Yeah, how do you do this now if the parental locks are on?
Yeah, I guess that was the big question. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why Alfred's letting him do it now.
Wait, Superman has an atomic cauldron, but
Yep.
he doesn't have an atomic pile.
An atomic pile. Yeah, I don't know.
At least say Superman has an atomic pile.
Well, he's got a really big Batcave. We might just not have seen it. Like it might be like just toward the bottom, because you obviously could leap to your doom. The Jaws of Death thing is hilarious. Just all the things that he has to go through. There's a nice sense of continuity with that, where they mention all those things, and then Dick Grayson's going to jump over all of it.
Do we know what the next Legos movie spin-off movies are after. Because we were
I don't know if
really
they've
surprised that
announced
Ninjago came out the same year as this. We were like,
Me
wait,
too,
wait,
and-
that's coming out later this year?
Yeah,
Is this year?
I'm not sure we're gonna see a whole ton more of these.
So wait, they put out 2 last year?
I've been kinda
They're
questioning
doing
that.
None this year?
Yeah. Yeah, I know it's a really weird choice, but I also don't know why we're putting 2 Star Wars movies out within 6 months either. I mean, I realize that's a different company, but there are a lot of weird choices lately.
Yeah.
Scalabad.
If this didn't do great, and I'm sure Ninjago did worse than this.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, it did well. It performed, but I wonder if it did what they thought it would. And I wonder if they're just worried right now about overexposure for Lego, because they just canceled Lego Dimensions recently. And,
yep.
But I'll see how it did. My kid I just met. I also think it's kind of fun that we have a again just in trying like new versions of this stuff, and I don't want to say things are good just because like it's changed for the sake of change, or we've never done it before so it should be done. But there's something instantly intriguing, I think, about a Robin that's gotten used to being an orphan that Batman picks up well later. And they've really thought about that, right? Where this Dick Grayson is like kind of loving life to an irritating sort of degree, and he's just like happy to be alive because he lost his parents, and and I don't know how early it happened because he doesn't really talk about his parents, so it might be that he's just always been an orphan. There's not that tragedy with him except just loneliness. It's just simply loneliness, which is the thing that they most have in common. But I kind of like the idea of a Dick Grayson that has the same background that Batman does in losing his parents, but is much different than Bruce's was. Where they just both handle it in entirely different sorts of ways. And again, end up being just hilariously huge exaggerations of their regular counterparts.
If you could fly, why wouldn't you just do that the whole time? Also, I don't know how I feel about the fact that it transforms. I feel like you should build it. He's a master builder.
Yeah, that's fair.
I
like that we go to the John Williams score there. That's great. Yeah, Eric, it did $312 million on an $80 million budget. I mean, that's really good.
That is good. But it's probably not as good as they thought it would be.
Being a Batman thing.
Yeah, being a Batman thing, and Lego. I don't know what Lego Movie did back then.
And again, the $6 million question for me is what influence or what effect did BVS have on this?
Well, but also, what other property do they have that is as big as Batman that we could expect to do numbers like that?
Yeah, nothing.
Now, if Lego Movie 2 is as big as Lego Movie 1, I think we could see a couple more of these.
Yeah.
But I don't know what properties they would use other than doing Batman again.
Yeah, I don't either. Unless they could do Star Wars.
Yeah.
That would be the other thing.
And finally, a Bionicle movie.
I want to think this is a direct nod to the Lego games. I don't know if I'm right about it, but just the fact that was real side-scrollery.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of those kind of missions.
And then you have to take control of the different ones and use. I mean, in the first one, it's different suits, but like you have to be Robin to go up the thing and yeah.
I was definitely thinking that.
Also, his doorbell is the John Williams theme, obviously, but that's what his sound is every time in the Lego game, right?
That's right. Every time he shows up. Yep, they love doing that.
I like the idea that the Batman thinks Superman is like him.
Yeah.
He must be alone.
Well, also, he went to a place called the Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah.
And he's having a big party.
57th. That's probably accurate, right?
Yeah. Yeah, man. I
How does
thought
a
it
kid
wasn't
know
time.
that?
Again,
I'm not even sure.
we're just dropping that whole thing out. Look, he's got Google. But this is a kid who's not just playing with action figures. He wrote a movie script. There's
He's
no way
also
around
seen
it.
Super Friends.
Yep.
Yeah, that's also like a Lego.
No, at some point, that's a conceit that you just have to give it as a conceit, right? Because if they didn't do that kind of stuff, we'd be like, well, you know, how come you couldn't read some comics and throw some comic stuff in this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not complaining about that. I just think it's fun to point out.
That is Samurai. No, it's not Samurai. That's always what I want to call him. That's Dexter's Lab version. He's...
I can't remember his name right now either. Martian Dance Hunter.
He might just be Samurai. Wait, who's the? There was a silver guy. There's Apache Chief, and there's
Black Lightning.
No, I think that's Black Vulcan. I think that's Super Friends one.
Is it? Because he had like lightning-y things on him.
Yeah, but Black Vulcan. For some reason,
also has that?
Black Vulcan and Black Lightning look very similar, but for some reason they didn't use Black Lightning. He's got a mask. I think Black Lightning just a domino mask.
I wasn't expecting as much Superman reference stuff in this as we got, and that was fun. We got Lego Jarrell in a crystal saying, "Be really careful with these crystals because they're irreplaceable," and then he breaks it, and I think that's really funny.
They don't ask the question that I would ask in this, but maybe it's a dead joke.
Yeah.
Of like which left? Like is it the left you're looking from? Is it the left I'm looking from?
Oh yeah, good call. Yeah, I mean even the Matrix did that joke.
Well, the Matrix, he just gets it wrong, and I'm convinced Keanu Reeves went to the wrong place. I'm convinced that's an ad lib, where he's like left, he goes the wrong way. He's like your other left. I guess it could be him looking the other direction.
Well,
I
it can't
assume that was
possibly
a
be an
mistake.
ad lib, but it could be a choice to throw in because they screwed it up.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be an ad lib.
Not an ad lib, but I assume that was done because Keanu Reeves made a mistake, but I don't know that.
Yeah, maybe so. It looked choreographed, though. If you go back and looked at it, it looks choreographed. It's a weird thing that you'd think to script. I don't know.
Yeah, it's such a nice little detail. I'm like, you can't possibly have
commentary on that and talk about it. Yeah, it's weird.
And there's something else in the movie like that. I think is what makes it stand out in my mind.
This Robin has a sparkly cape.
Yeah, because he's was it Reggae Man?
Oh yeah, right. I mean, that was their explanation for doing it. Obviously, they did it because this kid like loves fashion and stuff, and so they're making him look fabulous. They're doing that whole thing, and I like that they do that kind of thing with him without. And I mean, maybe in a kid's thing, I guess in a kid's thing you wouldn't go there, but without doing the thing that the 60s Batman movie did, where we have to point out the age-old Batman and Robin gay joke. Like, we don't go there at all.
Yeah.
And we don't even nod to the adults in the audience about it.
Well, it'd be even creepier in this.
I think it would too. Yeah, because he's such an abusive, father figure.
Well, and their age difference, I think, would make it for you like.
Even though it's Legos.
But I guess you could have just said. Had a reference to him liking other boys, I guess, maybe, but
in this particular context, I think that
Robin.
Yeah, I think that would have been in poor taste probably with this material. Again, just because we do have a relatively for this universe scary Batman.
Yeah,
I mean, he's gonna go to prison and deserve it, and he's just taking advantage of this kid. I mean, he really is All-Star Batman. This whole thing is really funny because he's just way too brightly colored. The naturally dark parts of your costume. He's got nothing.
I like that he hides behind him.
It wouldn't matter if you were good at this. You can't wear that.
Well, actually, right there where he is might not be a terrible hiding spot. But
yeah, we're still doing this.
Yeah.
and this is a place where, on the other hand, from what we were talking about a minute ago, this is a place where it's not creepy to have Batman be attracted to Batgirl, because she's probably about his age.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
And again, I really like this idea of an older Barbara Gordon that takes over for Commissioner Gordon. I feel like that's a thing we could have done in something like Earth One.
Yeah. If we ever get more, maybe we will.
Real Earth One kind of take.
Well, and it makes sense if she's older that she was over at Bloodhaven and like. And I think to do with that.
That really impressed me in the theater because I didn't expect to be surprised by any lore stuff, and then you have no idea like where they're going to go with stuff.
Oh, and all these signs are great. We can't read them because it's a tiny screen, but all these signs are great.
Yeah, we were laughing at this so hard in the theater. We really screwed up not watching this on the projector.
It's Dolphin.
See,
do you want to be as smart as a baby dolphin?
That kind of... What was that in that we just saw?
That was in the episode of Atlanta I showed you.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was really funny. I've seen one episode of that show now. I would have spent all night trying to remember where in the world that came from. No, it's that kind of random humor with Lego that never gets old to me. I mean, that's like the croissant thing. Like, that kind of thing just never gets old.
This green room reminds me of something, but I can't place it.
Every episode of Smallville ever?
Maybe that's... Do we shoot Arkham Green in Batman Robin?
I don't think... I don't remember. Or in Batman Forever.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, I know I spent way too much time with Smallville, so a lot of things remind me of things in Smallville, but there's that... But there's that facility where they have the giant kryptonite room, and like it looks a lot like that. It reminds me of that a little bit. Is that Summerholt? The Summerholt Institute?
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. That's where they kidnapped Ryan, strapped him down, and then later on they have a... I think they have a kryptonite room in there. But yeah, I think another reason that you have to play the Joker like this is that we really right now have a Batman that is worse than the Joker.
Mm.
And like, I guess another way you could play it is to have a sadistic Joker that just goes around murdering people, but you can get away with it because it's just minifigs. It's just not people's
that would be hilarious.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. I don't need that, but
I do.
Yeah, that's my point. It's like you I don't know. You just have such a like fixation on a really particular kind of Joker that like always has to be like that.
I like a couple of different kinds of Jokers. I just don't like this Joker.
Yeah. I'm just saying. I think for this context, like it was the way to go, but. I guess the thing is,
okay. So how different in age are they?
That's true. Well, he's been Batman since 1930, and that's the thing. The thing is, they did build that into their continuity.
That's true. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, that's okay. But I guess the thing is, I love this for... No, you had to say that then. I guess the thing is, I love this simultaneously for the ways it's Batman and for the departures at the same time, and I think there's a really good balance there. And see, that's
anyone complained that this was Dark Knight, Joker wants to be captured?
No, but it's making fun of that, and or it's at least doing that trope on purpose, and I think that's fun because like again, we do everything way bigger, so and exaggerated. So now instead of trying to get thrown into the asylum, we try to get thrown into the Phantom Zone.
Well, after we try to get thrown in the asylum.
And I love the score here; it's hysterical. They just have a choir saying "The Phantom Zone." It took me a couple of viewings before I realized that. That was really funny. Welcome, bad guy. There's a reference that the flashing light thing, Phyllis the flashing light thing, will have a little bit later to a creator or something. I forget exactly how she puts it. But they come right out and reference the kid playing with toys again because of that whole thing. I forgot about that. Now, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that I like this whole thing just because there's a Velociraptor there, and there may be some truth to that, but I'm not going to confirm or deny.
And some of these were weird picks where we were like, who even are these? And we looked up, it's like, oh, it's no one. It's not a reference, it's just like generic giant dragon
Some
thing.
of them there were no... no particular references. Gremlins, I was surprised by.
I was really surprised by Gremlins.
That's a weird pick, because a lot of people in the audience, including adults, are not going to know what that is, just because it's been so long now. So when this came out, we didn't have the third wave yet. We didn't have the third wave yet of LEGO Dimensions, and my assumption was some of the stuff that they put in this was setting up things that they would put in LEGO Dimensions later, because it was all stuff that they had access to, and some things that already are there. So like Voldemort in Harry Potter is actually himself specifically a minifig in that game. But they had already announced. I can't remember. It's hard to go back to the timeline, even though it's only been a year. But or maybe some of that stuff had already started coming out. Maybe some of 3 had already started coming out. I can't remember. But anyway, the Gremlins were in that, and of course Lord of the Rings was a thing. But the Ancient Smiths, that made me think, oh, if they do a Wave 4, we'll probably get Matrix figures, and then they canceled the game, and so we'll never know. But it's even a talking Velociraptor.
So we had Dracula there for a second.
Yeah.
I don't remember if he comes back. Is that the first time we get a...
They all show up.
Is that the first time we get a Lego Dracula?
A Lego Dracula? I don't know. Do you mean like in extra media, or like as a
like, has there ever been a Lego Dracula before this?
I'm not sure. I have no idea. Oh, and I forgot. Harley's doing her multiple costume thing, even as a minifig. And she could have been
pretty sure that sign said Soder.
Yeah. I didn't see it, but I remember that being in here. And Gotham Gazette is there. Like everything's. I mean, a lot of things are references to, or just the stuff you would expect. Cat and dog are friends. Or just things that in the comics you wouldn't bat an eye at, but in this you're like, oh cool, they actually know things about Gotham City. That's nice.
That rhymed.
That's true.
No.
Oh, that's fun.
This is Ghostbusters.
His mouth opens up into the vortex.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Magic.
But yeah, I guess the reason I liked this is because if I was a kid playing with action figures, this is what I would do. Like you mix all the stuff you have.
He doesn't talk.
Yeah, but again, if you're a kid playing with action figures, you give him a voice. Especially if it's a thing you don't know anything about. I'm a big tower thing with an eyeball!
See, it is King Kong, which makes the dragon thing weird.
Yeah.
Because it's not just like a monkey or something Kong.
I will say it would be neat to get a movie that was just blending a whole bunch of different licensed properties, and that's the movie. Kind of like a Ready Player One or something.
Isn't that what Lego Movie is?
Sort of.
That's what I imagine the sequel would be more of.
But I just mean that it was more about the licensed properties in the first place, and just mixing them, like Lego Dimensions was. If Lego Dimensions was a movie.
Yeah. That's Dracula.
Or it would be fun. I guess what I'm saying is it would be fun outside of the Lego Movie universe to take a bunch of like playing it more straight characters and putting them all together, where it's not a kid playing with action figures. You know what I mean?
Something more like the Lego Batman. Nope. Lego Batman.
The movie. Yeah, exactly. But like, just take, like if you took that and their Star Wars and their Scooby Doo,
Yeah.
et cetera, you know, like the things they made movies for, and then maybe some other stuff, and just blend all that together.
Yeah, I was just kind of let down by all this. I was like, oh, I didn't know I was walking into this. Like, I get why it's supposed to be cool and why I'm supposed to like it, but I got this with the Lego Movie. I assume I'll get this with the second Lego Movie. I didn't need this here. Although there are some really good jokes, and like it is fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like a movie destroying thing. It's not what I wanted. I still don't like that joke.
Yeah. Again, I've always rolled with it. The disappointing thing is that we sacrifice moments for other villains in order to do that. So like you know all the Batman villains they do are just kind of like quick token things.
Yeah, we could have more Two-Face.
And we could, yeah. So that is
Bane.
that is the disappointing thing about it. But I think it itself is handled really well. And if it was done mostly just for like, you know, commercial, like trying to, you know, appease people in the audience that aren't necessarily here for Batman reasons, it's handled like as well as I would expect that to be handled.
It goes through the wall.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
I guess it's not soundproofed in any way.
Oh, so why is Dick Grayson in prison?
Because he was an accomplice with Batman.
He's like 8.
He's not 8.
Traditionally, he's 12.
We
but I'm
don't
not
know what
sure.
his age is.
Okay, well, if he's like 12, I
No, they're playing real hard and like fast and loose with that, and it's hilarious. Because again, she looked up to Batman when she was a kid because Batman's been around since the 30s.
do not tap on glass.
Oh, that was the sign that we lost our minds about. No
Yeah.
stationary. No stationary. That's the best. I wonder if they made in any of the Lego Batman movie sets a Batman minifig with the orange jumpsuit.
I'm sure.
Because I would love to have that.
Yeah.
That's fun. I don't think they made an Arkham set for this movie. There is a big Arkham Asylum. It's one of the coolest
That
Lego
would be
sets I've seen. I'd love to have one.
kind of a missed opportunity, I would think.
But it's expensive.
That's good.
I like that a lot, yeah.
That almost sounded like he wasn't even trying to do the Bane voice in that line.
Yeah. Well, I just love that they don't even modulate it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's
Do
just
you
a guy.
remember who that is? I forget who that is. Somebody
He's
told,
some
maybe you told me
comedian
about
who
it.
has. Oh, I discovered after. He's some comedian that has a podcast who apparently, like, famously just keeps doing the Bane voice and thinks it's funny to do.
But everybody does the Bane voice.
Yeah, I don't know why it's him.
Okay, because I feel like about it. I mean, no disrespect to that guy, but I feel like anybody could do that. Yeah. But I mean, if he got to do it because people like him doing that voice, more power to him.
Yeah.
But it is great that it's just a guy doing that voice and not modulating it at
Yep.
all. The only thing that would be better than that would be if it was Tom Hardy just doing that voice and not being modulated at all.
Oh yeah, I forgot. There's a weird thing where Ray Fiennes is Alfred, but he's not Voldemort.
Oh yeah.
There's that weird thing.
What? Why would they just have him voice
I
it?
don't know. He's right there.
That's weird. That's a really weird choice. Meanwhile, over at Disney, they've got Cumberbatch voicing his own villain.
Yeah.
It's not like Voldemort has more than 2 lines of dialogue. That's pretty good. I never noticed that before. 100% lava. I like that somebody likes 60s Batman enough to think to put Alfred in a 60s Batman suit. Yeah. And that we just have an Adam West suit through the rest of this movie. Just so they can all be Bat people.
How many planes have more than one seat? That's not an egocentric Batman thing. Like most jets have one seat, maybe one in the back.
Yeah, okay. But like yeah, I'm trying to defend that because like I like that as a character thing that he just builds everything for one, but I mean I guess that's fair.
I'm saying it makes sense to play.
Does the Batmobile have just one seat?
No, it's got two.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course, because well, I couldn't remember if he like rebuilt it right there.
Maybe?
I guess
I'm
he
not
doesn't.
sure.
I guess he doesn't.
It might be a one-person Batmobile. That's always funny.
And now we've got the Rises thing again. Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, this is my favorite joke in the whole movie. I love that the Gremlins attack the plane because historically, before that movie, Gremlins are things from World War II that fighters claimed attacked their planes, and that's why they went down.
Oh, I didn't think
that is where Gremlin comes from, which is why in the movie they like destroy machinery. They're supposed to be these little creatures that destroy electronics. So I love that they attack the plane because that's a historical Gremlin thing. It's a real weird, like real deep pull joke, but I love it.
Is that possible? Thing. Is it possible that was a coincidence?
There's no way that's a coincidence.
They didn't even think about it?
No, there's no way that's... Well, I mean, think about the Bugs Bunny cartoon with the Gremlin on the plane, turn the plane.
Yeah, sure.
Like, no, there's no way that's a coincidence. That has to be an
I'm just saying, like,
joke.
it's the one thing they have in the Phantom Zone. That there's a whole bunch of them, and they're in a plane scene now.
It could have been flying monkeys.
That's
you don't
true.
immediately go Gremlins in the air.
No, you don't. You don't necessarily immediately do that. I'm just saying, like, I'm with you. I want to think that they knew that. But wouldn't it be crazy if you talked to them and they were like, "Yeah, we didn't know that." I'm just saying there is that possibility. I'm not trying to steal your thunder. I'm just saying, like, there is a. I think that is less likely than whatever it was earlier we said must have been like the Jezebel Jet thing. That's
unlikely. Yeah, that's unlikely.
It is really unlikely they looked at a comic and for whatever reason put that character in that dress. I don't know why you would do that.
No. She's obviously in purple because she's Batgirl and like.
Yeah.
No. I'm like. Gremlins on the plane is an intentional choice. Like I'm convinced.
And should be the name of the third movie if they ever make another
yes.
one. Gremlins on the plane. Yeah. Sick of these mother effing gremlins.
I think that's also the inspiration for the Twilight Zone episode where he sees the thing on the wing of the plane.
Well, it sounds like this is more common than I realized, so you're probably right about it. Like, well, that's a bunch of those.
Do we do the Lego Movie thing of where it's just like kid sounds, like we cut to like almost like not even stop motion? Where do we do that in this?
Yes. Well, the biggest one is at the end when they have the person links that go across the big gap in the city, and then when they finally the plane's back, it just goes click. That's the biggest one.
Yeah, I think that's funny every time in Lego Movie.
I do too. I really like that.
No matter how many times I see that movie, I always think that's funny.
And that's Dark Knight Returns-esque lightning, but I don't think we're actually doing a Dark Knight Returns thing there.
No, but we did do the Dark Knight Returns cover.
That's
earlier.
true, yeah, which is pretty cool. So we had a Lego cover month for DC a while back. I don't remember if it was last year or the year, but no, because it was during 52, wasn't it?
I do not remember.
But it would be cool if they did another one just for Batman and did like some classic actual Batman covers in Lego. Just like having seen a couple here, it'd be really cool if they translated those. Street meat? Oh, I can remember if he said pizza or meat. That's
funny. That's a terrible '80s movie where they tried to, like they make movies about like built around like a athlete celebrity. They did one who was, I think, like the gold medal winning champion for gymnastics. It was called Gymkhana, and all the fight scenes, for no reason, there will be like in an alleyway, like one of the bars that they like move around, and like it's just there in an alleyway. Yeah, no, that's a funny bad '80s action movie called Gymkhana.
That's hilarious. Now I forget, this monster is not any real actual monster, but
I think he was the big one where like we looked him up and he's not from anything.
See, I thought it was like a classic Lego thing.
I think the little one.
The little one is. Okay.
Yeah, I think he's nothing by my pro.
That's great. They just have a classic Lego skeleton guy. That's fun.
I would think that would be the thing you would put in every Lego thing. Like I don't know why the croissant's fine. I would think Lego skeleton.
Well, we get those quite a bit as well. Certainly, it's just you don't eat those, just when there's food.
I want to be a nerd, but that wouldn't stop Sauron.
Again, this kid does not understand Lord of the Rings. It has a voice here.
That's true.
He's just whistling, and his mouth could not whistle, and that's hilarious. He's got like this big open, gaping mouth with teeth, and he's whistling. That kind of thing's always funny to me. I think this movie does a really good job of, like, and like, this might sound like I'm giving it too much credit when I say this, because there is some kind of spelling out the theme at the end of this movie, but at least until we get there and we finally do that, it kind of lets you put together what Batman's afraid of and like why he treats people the way he does, and it's a Batman that's refusing to change but really, really needs to, and then eventually does, but also as he's gradually changing, he's also constantly resisting it, and so like, the everyone else one thing is like really is genuine. He's not like pretending when he does that. But then when they take this picture and then he really thinks about it, he's gonna be like, oh no, I can't let myself get too close to these people because what if I lose them like I did my parents? And so I like that he keeps having these great opportunities for change and never takes them. And when he sends them off to get tacos, that was a pretty, like, again, for this material, kind of heart-wrenching moment in the theater. Like I think that's really well handled. And it got me. I wasn't expecting it. It's one of those places where once you've seen it, you can kind of see the formula working in it, and you're like, yeah, of course, we're not that close to the end yet. But on a first viewing, like, I don't quite realize, oh, yes, of course, he's not going to fully embrace his the lesson he's got to learn here and the opportunity for change yet. But we easily could have done that in a really super cheap way, in just constantly making all that kind of stuff a joke. Like, yeah, this scene is about as Pixar as this movie gets, I think.
And she knows. Is that a giant gun?
I don't know what that is. Is it a megaphone?
I think it's a gun. Like, it's a big revolver.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure it was.
We're not looking at this big enough.
I'm pretty sure she was basically doing the Lego version of, like, loading the gun.
Oh, Scuttler. That's what that thing's called. It's basically a big robotic Ace the Bat Hound.
Look, you can either go to the board of Gotham City Bloodhaven or the board of Gotham City Metropolis. These are your choices.
That's hilarious.
Oh, I also love the idea that if Bloodhaven's next to Gotham, that like it gradually gets worse in a line. Like you have Metropolis, then Gotham, then Bloodhaven. Like Metropolis pushes all its criminals into Gotham, then Gotham pushes all its criminals into Bloodhaven.
And then right after that, it's just hell. It's just you just jump right into the pit of hell, or Sunnydale, or something. So this might be blasphemous to some people. Okay, that's that set they just recently put out.
Oh, really?
That I really want. Yeah,
Oh, that's
it's
super cool.
It's freaking awesome. Yeah. So you see the. I forgot about that the Agent Smiths are riding the roller coaster, but that roller coaster, it's they.
Oh,
built
you told
that.
me about that.
Yeah, that's that set.
Okay.
I want one so bad. It's awesome. It's really expensive. That's like a $400 or $500 set, but I really want one.
What were the Smiths saying?
I missed it
Okay.
because unfortunately this program the subtitles we have are terrible.
Oh,
Which
do
is
you
part of
remember-
why we're not responding as much to stuff, because I don't know the dialogue in this as well as I wish I did.
Do you
he
remember
looked like
that
he had
this
a
was-
mohawk in that mirror. That was fun.
Do you remember that this was part of the weird, like, we watched, like, 4 movies back-to-back that all had,
House of Mirrors?
yeah, House of Mirrors? Because John Wick 2 has it.
Oh, yeah.
And there was, like,
And then
2 other...
Gotham does
Gotham
it.
did it in the Joker episode.
Yeah.
And there was something else I want to say. Like, we just saw, like, a bunch of things right
together.
That did House of Mirrors.
Yeah, it was really weird. So, again, this is going to be blasphemous to some people who love this movie like I do. I'm having one of my, or probably my worst experience watching this because we did it back-to-back with the Adam West movie. Like, you were not wrong about that. And again, like, I love this, don't get me wrong. It's just like, somehow or rather, maybe it's just two big Batman parody things back-to-back don't watch real well together. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe if we had, you know, some more serious stuff in between it. Because this kind of thing is fun as, like, you know, a departure and escape from what you're used to.
Mm-hmm.
Doing a bunch of these together...
Yeah. I think that was the shark, and I want it to be the shark.
Yeah, I want to know what the talking shark did that was so bad that got it thrown in the Phantom Zone.
Well, he stole Woody's hat.
Howdy.
Why does that line stick with everyone? Everyone knows that line.
It's really funny. I like Voldemort standing in the background with his wand just doing this like it's a club.
Also, why does Voldemort turn people into fish? There has to be a joke there, right? Like, that's something, and I just don't know what it is.
I don't know, that's a really good question. But that reminds me of the first season Tick episode where he goes on his existential journey and he says, "Why do little midgets hit me with fish?" It's one of his big existential questions he wants to answer. Because in his mind, there's these tiny ticks and they hit him with fish. I am so sorry. So this is going to be a nitpick. But that's a thing I always kind of questioned and didn't entirely like jive for me. This is a Batman who doesn't take responsibility for his actions and he never apologizes except for when we want to make a joke out of it. So there are a few token places where he goes, "I am so sorry," but this Batman doesn't apologize and has an impossible time saying it later.
Oh, immediately says sorry to when he hits her?
Yeah. Like, he
Interesting.
can't say that word. Well, and also the thing with the seatbelt.
Yeah.
Earlier, "I'm so sorry," but then later he can't make his mouth form that word. That's a little problematic.
Yeah.
It's a different context, but still, like, if he can't say that word,
Yeah, he shouldn't have said I'm sorry earlier either. Because that is his fault, and that's him admitting that.
it doesn't work.
No. Yeah, they weren't paying enough attention.
They weren't paying enough attention.
Also, looking at his abs, if we're going to count that middle thing as 9...
I don't like that joke.
The bottom thing is also 10, right? Like, it's the same thing, right?
Yeah, I've never understood that joke. No, thank you for explaining why that joke doesn't work, because I never understood it.
It's that there's no space there. It's just a line. Like, I don't understand why it's not funny.
Now I feel a little bit better.
It's called an anti-hero.
I like the speech a lot. Yeah, but that's the thing, is that Batman's not an anti-hero.
I know.
It's this almost weird loophole thing. I guess all this stuff works so well for me, Eric, because it was another Batman deconstruction that was really lighthearted and fun about it.
Mm.
And it felt incredibly fresh at the time. Again, even though we also did some of the stuff in that Adam West movie, I guess the thing is that has held up better on rewatches for me. Like, that's more rewatchable than this is to me, for some reason.
I also think it might help that that's shorter.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I think part of it for me is a little bit like I'm starting to check out. Like, I think maybe we unleash all the villains too early.
You think so?
Where I'm like, okay, just get rid of the villains. Yeah.
Yeah. I had that thought this time.
I would love that Nightwing joke.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure that's the Kryptonian Nightwing suit. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and I like this scene a lot. That Batman like finally taking risks and getting closer to people, and then allowing himself to mature and grow, is because of the bad ways in which he's inspired people.
That's the definition of insanity.
That's right. You just do the same thing over and over again.
But it's also the scientific method, so, you know, take that for what you will.
Well, no, the difference is, in the scientific method, you're not going to lose your mind if you don't get different results. You're not expecting different results. You're making sure you won't get them. And then if you do it a certain number of times, you can say, okay, I've got a theory now, right? If you do the same thing over and over again and you keep going, oh man, I thought I'd get a different thing this time, every time, that drives you crazy. That's how you get electrocuted over and over. Like if you keep touching a fence,
I know, it's
you
going to be electric shocks.
That would drive you crazy.
It was Beauty that killed the Beast. See, like, she's so great. She doesn't need to be Batgirl.
No, it is pretty obligatory. I guess this is where he can't say sorry. And all she needs is for him to do that, and then they can put things together. But I guess it kind of works as throwing him a bone and being like, no, Batman, like what you've done for us is wonderful. You just need to learn to be a team player and like work with us instead of above us. And so I'll put on the Batsuit because you're letting us all work with you. But like I said, I kind of just don't want her to still have it at the end.
Mm. Maybe
also,
the other stories...
when they all get their own signals, if she didn't have a Batsuit on, then that would be really weird. It would just be her face in the sky. But anyway.
Why don't you get a signal? She's the commissioner.
She still gets one, though. Signal. But they all get one.
That's dumb. I don't remember that.
Well, they do.
But anyway. I guess there'd be another one on top. He has 11. He's 11.
What's your sorry thing?
Maybe it's he can say it like reactionarily, like it's just like a oh, I'm really sorry. But like when he has to actually emotionally be like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I'm sure that's what it's supposed to be.
I think a tighter script just wouldn't have had.
That's why I called it a nitpick, but yeah. But it took me out. I questioned it. You see, it starts with hers. Yeah, I mean he's doing it.
Yeah,
like it's not it's not police headquarters. This is just his way of saying I rely on you on you guys now. I also like that it doesn't end up being a straight up romance. The thing, if memory serves, there's a thing at the end where he's kind of expecting to like get the girl at the end, and that doesn't work out. And I didn't really care for that, but. Just every time Bane talks, it's great.
I really like the Gentleman Ghost is here.
Yeah, that's great. One of the laziest thing and most irritating things about LEGO Dimensions, have I told you about this, is the Bane voice.
No.
Because Bane's voice in that is just the guy voicing Batman doing Bane, and he's not doing much different at all. He's just speaking at a slightly lower register, and there are places where Bane talks and you can't tell that it's not Batman.
Weird.
Yeah, and it's like, why wouldn't you have tried, like, done this in the first place?
Wait, does he not do like the "I'm Bane" voice?
No,
like,
he doesn't.
He just is like, "I'm Bane."
He just does a really
that's
generic.
A mistake.
Yeah,
that's a mistake.
It's not even like, you know, like Spanish sounding or anything. It's not any kind of an accent.
It's just gruff.
He's just I'm Bane. Yeah,
that's unfortunate.
It's really unfortunate. It's real lazy. That whole thing, and I know that's over now, but that whole thing was really inconsistent in terms of quality, because they would do things like go back to Michael J. Fox and get him to voice that character again, but then do stuff like that. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it's really weird. Who's that whale guy?
I don't know.
There's a weird whale character in the Larry Hama crates in the early 2000s. It's just the worst.
Really?
It might be her. Orca? I think maybe her name's Orca. She shows up in No Man's Land somewhere.
I feel like that's the character that you put in as the stand-in for Condiment King, is just this dumb character.
Yeah.
Because that's an actual dumb-sounding character. I mean, maybe you could do something with Orca. I don't know.
No, I think she's pretty dumb.
The Big Egg thing just came out.
Oh, cool.
Like last month. That one's brand new. It's awesome.
Also, having Tarantula in this movie is kind of funny. Like,
yeah?
I know that all of these characters have had like adult stories told with them, and this is a kid's thing. Tarantula forcibly has her way with Nightwing.
Wow.
So it's a little weird that she's in a kid's movie.
I forgot that he changes suits.
He looks kind of like Kato.
And I really like that they did that. That's really cool. Wait a minute. Does 10 and 2 make sense on a motorcycle?
As in, like, well, you think about it as like a clock. Yeah.
Is it still 10 and 2?
Yeah.
I guess it is.
Oh wait, where your hands
was thinking
are.
of it like,
I was thinking
no, where your hand.
Road.
He's like, no, hold it 10 and 2. Like, does that make sense on a motorcycle?
No, I don't think
this
so.
is not 10 and 2.
No.
I'm trying to decide if that's a joke or not. I think that's a joke. That's really funny.
Do
like
you hold
10
it
and
10
2
when you drive.
No, I don't tend to.
I don't either. I actually do one hand a lot, but also I tend to be here, not here.
Do you think the comic book words are kind of just obligatory at this point?
Yes. And inconsistent because we don't have them for the rest of the film.
Well, they're just... I mean, I don't know that that's a thing you have to be consistent about. I just... It doesn't come off as funny so much as just, like, a thing we felt like we had to do because we were doing a comedic Batman thing. Like, I appreciate calling back to the 60s, but that's, like, the obvious thing to do.
Mm. Hey, there was Hugo Strange.
The shark repellent joke is better.
It looks bad after Return of Cape Crusaders.
No, but what I like about it is we don't even call attention to what it is. He just says, yeah, you can play with that. That's fine. And, like, I think that's better.
Oh, okay.
That's funnier. Do you not remember that?
I do not remember.
Like,
this is it, I assume.
No, in the cave. Like
oh.
he's. I mean, yeah, we just did it, but unless there's something else in the cave, I can't remember what it is. But I thought that was like the one thing in the cave he would let him touch.
Okay.
Where it's like, no, that's fine. You can play with that.
So it's a payoff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's better.
Yeah, that's better.
If I'm right about it, if that is the thing.
It's still we had to go
to
Bad Shark Repellent.
Yeah. And it's not like you don't have a plethora of things you can go to.
Yeah.
But then, at the same time, is that... And I'm not taking up for it when I say this necessarily, but is it that thing where they're trying to have, like, different, like, levels and layers of reference so that people in the audience that just know something about Batman will feel like they, like, you know, got something?
Yeah.
Is that why you do stuff like that?
I guess. Well, and...
Because to be fair, like, I don't mind...
And we don't do... It, sometimes it's hard to get rid of a bomb.
No, we don't do that. I don't mind all the really obvious... Or so much of, like, the really obvious Star Trek references, for instance, if we also, like, throw the mega fans a bomb.
Mm-hmm.
I mean a bone. You know, as long as it's, because I know how you sometimes feel about Easter eggs, but like as long as it's, you know, well integrated and stuff.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
I guess I'm just saying I can somewhat sympathize with this as a difficult exercise in figuring out how to speak to everybody.
Yeah.
Because you could, if you made it just for the die-hard Batman fans, you could accidentally kind of leave people.
Yeah, I don't need that. Well, I mean, honestly,
in the dust.
I think you could if you just tell a compelling story. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know why we don't do that more. Where it's like,
Yeah,
you're not going to get all these references, but it's a good story. Who cares? They're not the references are not the story. I don't know why we don't do that more. I'm kind of annoyed that we do all the wiki references that like everyone knows. Why even bother? We all know it. But that's my own thing. But I don't know. It didn't need to go to Bat Shark Repellent. I don't know.
Bat Shark Repellent,
I
yeah.
feel like that's the thing that everyone knows, right? Like even you have to get rid of
even
Obama.
the '60s movie didn't do that.
Yeah,
and we really
yeah.
appreciated that.
I mean, it also didn't make $320 million.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And so we have a really unique perspective on this because not everybody watched that. But
yeah, that's fun. Because he was watching Jerry Maguire at the beginning of the movie.
oh yeah, good call.
Yeah, man, hello. Which I feel like should
I did
be an
not pick
obvious
up on that right away because I haven't watched that in so long.
I feel like that should be obvious.
I don't think I've seen that since it came out, man.
But I actually think that line has like superseded that movie. I don't think most people remember that movie. Most people remember that line. So it's fun that they at least remember where it came from.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I think Gone with the Wind is like that. I mean, I think there's a lot of movies that have lines where
Yeah.
the line is stuck around, but people couldn't begin to tell you where it came from.
No, I
think
right.
too. The Moon Atlas is like that. I don't think people know where that came from.
Yeah. Or Franklin Scott. I don't.
I don't give a damn.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, here's looking at you, kid.
Mm-hmm. What?
It was the Free Willy poster. The whale jumped over and she raised her arm. That's fun. I didn't see that before.
But yeah, I kind of like the idea. I think, again, this comedic context is kind of fun. The idea that Batman wouldn't accept even that he had an arch nemesis because he's afraid of how he would feel if he lost his arch nemesis. I love that he had to completely spell that out, as obvious as it is. And we didn't bring up, I think, probably the most genius line in the movie, which I think was in the advertising too. But yeah, it was. But Bruce Wayne lives in Batman's attic. That's really great. Like, that's kind of genius.
Is that the '60s Batgirl costume?
It's
more or less.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, more or less. I don't know if it's sparkly like that, but it's the same color scheme. And it's my favorite Batgirl too.
It looks really good in Lego form.
Yeah. Is there a sequel in this movie?
Probably not. I imagine a Lego Batman 2 would have almost no Batman things and be entirely multiversal.
You think so?
Well, yeah. What more is there to say with this world and these characters?
That's kind of my question. I feel like the only thing to do from here would be to have, you know, this Batman like actually embrace the Justice League and do a Justice League movie.
Yeah,
and that would be fun.
Now the big problem that they're gonna run into is
I don't think they'll make that. But
the Lego movie cannot use Batman the same. He has to have the growth and change that.
Unless we make it really clear that this was some other kid or something.
But it can't be some other kid because there's too many stuff that calls back to that, right?
It could be if it was a kid that knew him and just like, jumped off from where he was.
But he has the exact same view of Superman and Green Lantern.
Yeah, and like, you're right. That's funny and that's problematic. We are harping on this way too hard. But I don't know about you. I just have a real hard time not going to those places with this because the meta idea was the coolest thing in the Lego Movie.
But I think you can get away with it more if you don't go multiversal and you don't draw attention to it in any of the spin-offs where it's like, look, it's kind of there, but don't really think about it, because we don't want to have to think about that every movie.
But it's not just the multiversal thing. There's still, like, the reference that the light thing has to the Maker or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, no, they're doing that on purpose. And if you do the sight gags of, like, the kid just takes the two sides and clicks them together and stuff, there's someone behind it.
Yeah. And they're all lonely.
Because there's just so much space. I don't like that at all.
No, I don't.
That joke never worked for me.
No. It should be Superman, right?
Yeah, I think so. That should be a payoff of some kind.
Yeah.
And it's the only place in the movie where we have any digs at Marvel, and it's just so generic.
Yeah.
It feels like too much of like an intercompany Warner's thing before it's, you know, this character or a Batman
and
thing.
they have the Marvel license. Like, that could have been a payoff for, like, Tony Stark shows up and does something, but maybe they couldn't do that.
Well, Lego has the license.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Right, but they don't. This studio doesn't.
No?
You know what I mean? Well, I mean, Warner Brothers is making this movie.
I thought Warner Brothers just let them make this movie. Like, they gave them money and stuff.
Well, I mean, keep in mind that all the, the snake clown thing bothers me. But what's weird is, I call back to it a lot for some reason.
Yeah, we had this conversation in the car
It's
a couple of
funny
weeks ago.
It's funny out of context for some reason. Like, for some reason, just going snake clowns is kind of funny, but, like, it doesn't work for him, because...
No, but it also feels like a really, like, technically created, like, weird, random thing.
Yeah, I guess so. But what I was going to say is, all the other licensed stuff for the Phantom Zone, that's all stuff Warner's owns.
There were, like, 6 names on that screenplay. No wonder it's a varying quality throughout, like, comedy-wise.
I mean, they don't own Doctor Who, but there must be some kind of a connection there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, but they own almost all that stuff.
Well, they don't own Wizard of Oz. Or King Kong.
Yeah, but those might just be easier to license out. You know what I mean? To just, like...
Yeah, man, I
yeah,
don't know.
Yeah, I wish I knew the business side of this. Yeah, I'm not going to pretend like I know anything about that, but, yeah. Weirdly, we focused on a lot of, like negative stuff with this movie. And I guess some of it is just because we opened with the discovery of, oh, I like this quite a bit more than you do.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I guess that made me kind of look more at that stuff. But most of the time I've talked about this, it's just been all the stuff I love.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want people to think that, say, like, suddenly I just don't like this movie anymore. Like, I'm really super down on it. It's just, you know, you focus on the stuff you haven't talked about before.
Yeah.
You haven't brought up a lot. So
this is a really cool credit sequence.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, it's Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah.
Okay. I've never liked him.
Alfred has a guitar.
Except for that one time he interviewed Obama, that was really funny.
I don't right away know who that is. So.
He's the big bearded guy from the Hangover movies. Okay.
That would be a why I don't write it. I mean, I've heard that name, but I can't picture that. I don't know who that is right away. I don't know why Egghead over any other, specifically 60s Batman villain.
Well, we also had King Tut.
Exclusively.
We had King Tut.
Oh, King Tut was in there. Yeah, that's right. But they cut to Egghead a lot.
This is kind of really Nolan-y.
Well, yeah, I mean, but they've got that all throughout.
Oh, that's fun. They break it up by Bat Family, Joker's Rogues.
Oh, yeah, that is fun. That's a good idea.
These are fun credits. The Ubers, Justice League.
And I also wasn't, Eric, trying to put you in a position where you look like you dislike this more than you do. It's just this contrast.
I like it all right.
Us watching this.
Yeah. I think it's fun, but for me, it's a higher end kids movie. Whereas I don't have that with the Lego Movie or with Return of the Cape Crusaders, which I both think are really good.
Lego Movie is a lot more layered. I mean, you're absolutely right. The genius of that movie, and we should do a commentary on it at some point. I guess I did one with Jason.
Oh.
But you and I should probably do one on that movie
Sure.
at some point. The genius of the Lego Movie is it's got all of this really poignant, relevant social commentary, and then you find out that it's all really personal for this kid who's coming up with all of that, and that's all simply subtext and could be there or not, but also is there even if he doesn't realize it, because that's the world that created his father. I just think that, I mean, that was mind-blowing for me in the theater. And there's just no way for this to create that kind of subtext.
Yeah. But I also don't seem to think it's as psychologically or philosophically as interesting as you do.
Yeah.
Like, this all feels real childish to me. Like, his Batman's arc, like, while well written, is a kid's movie arc, I think.
Well, I mean, but I would argue that the Lego Movie is also a kid's movie arc. It just
I don't know, it's more
ends up
sophisticated?
resonating.
Yeah, I don't
more.
know.
Yeah.
Because
It's just that it doesn't feel like that's what it is until the revelation that it's more of a kids movie than you thought it was. That's what's genius about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And, like, I don't know, there's a knowingness to that
I think
ending, in how childish and simplistic it is,
Yeah.
that I don't think this... I don't know.
But then here's the thing: it's backwards. The knowingness that you're talking about, if this movie has it at all, again, that is without a doubt a better film than this. But and you know, resonate with me more. But I think the knowingness, if this has that at all, is for Batman fans specifically who know what it's doing with the lore. So I think it does. It is a little bit more layered, at least for me, in my opinion, because I know the more adult stuff that they're pulling from to make their kids movie,
Yeah.
and that kind of impressed me.
Well, this song's actually about Batman.
Yeah, this song in the theater had me teared up a little bit, actually. Go listen to the lyrics to that at some point. It's really cool.
Okay.
That kid is, if memory serves, that kid is singing from Robin's perspective,
Oh,
but not in
interesting.
that voice. And yeah, I think, I can't remember. There was something about that really hit me in a place in the theater, but
Is it Michael Cera singing?
I don't think it is.
Because
That's what I'm saying.
recently
It's just
he has a
kid,
music
but-
career.
Oh yeah.
Well, not
I
like a
don't think-
career. Like he's just like, yeah, I like making music, so I make
Oh, that's
music.
cool. And he disappears in this. He's really good at voice modulation.
Yeah, yeah.
At some point, of course, I'll do a rewind on this, and I'll articulate the story stuff that I think works really well, better than I did here. But
Well, yeah, these aren't for that.
and I'm somewhat working on memory.
Yeah, these aren't great. Like,
No, that's true, but then I felt like I had to defend it when you're like, well, it felt to me like, and I'm not trying to disrespect your opinion, I'm just saying, but when you're like, you know, this felt more like a kid's thing to me. I'm like, well, yeah, but I had more of a,
right.
I mean,
I'm not saying it. I'm saying to me that's what I feel.
sure, yeah,
But also, these really are not. This is not the environment for a reappraisal watch. We're not paying enough attention to be like, oh, this is completely different than what I thought it was.
no, that's fair.
I'm Batman.
I would love to know how this movie would have performed versus what it did. And again, like 320 against 80 is really, really good. But as we said, I think they probably expected it to do better than that. If this comes out after Rises versus coming out after BVS, how does it do?
I don't. There's no way to know how much or not at all BVS hurts it.
Yeah. Or if it's just that it's Lego. Like, I guess the point I'm making is there's a lot of adults that I might have thought would go to this that just didn't care.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that even being Lego and some of those folks like not caring about that or not thinking that's funny before might have been on such a Batman high they would just go to anything Batman.
Maybe.
That's kind of why I'm saying that, because BVS I think kind of killed the Batman high for some people.
But I also think that a lot of people that saw the Lego movie were kind of blown away by it, weren't exactly excited for this either.
Yeah,
which I think is weird.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is a lot of people were worried, including myself, that Batman was going to take over in the Lego movie, and it was amazing that he didn't, which was one of the big accolades a lot of people threw at it, was oh wow, he's just a supporting character and didn't take the movie over. And then the very next thing they announced is his own movie.
We also didn't mention how many of these jokes didn't immediately play because they were all in the trailer, like the opening.
That hurt it, yeah. It was kind of overly marketed.
Yeah.
Which I didn't feel, and I didn't feel that way about Lego Movie.
No, the Lego Movie was.
I saw just enough of that.
Yeah, Lego Movie was like
we knew about it.
Well
we were
marketed,
aware.
but almost like the highest end of a sleeper hit. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And the thing with that was, I was intrigued. It looked like fun. I didn't expect it to be anything but a fun romp, which is what a lot of people looked at this as.
Yeah.
So I mean, like you'll never have that experience again.
That's
where
true.
you just walk into and the folks, a lot of the folks that I've met that don't feel the same way I do about the Lego Movie, saw it after it was out a long time.
Yeah.
And so it ends up being that Fight Club thing where people hype it so hard, and then you finally see it, and you're like, yeah, it's okay. No, if you saw it opening night, you would have felt the same way I did about it.
No, I agree. I agree.
And I mean, everybody, but I felt that way with certain people where I was like, no, I feel like if you'd gone with me to that movie, you would have teared up just like I did.
Yeah.
I will say, this did not make me tear up, I don't think. Except for maybe just nostalgia things. I don't know. I should listen to that commentary.
There's a director and crew commentary.
Yeah, I didn't realize there was one, because this doesn't mention it. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
The special features on the back of this do not mention a commentary. I wonder if it's actually in the special features on this, or if you have to watch all the way to the end of the movie to get this menu screen.
Is it 2 discs or is it 1 disc?
It's 2 discs.
Okay, so this is the only special feature on this disc.
It's the only special feature on this disc, yeah. But anyway, well, folks, thanks a lot for watching. Sure appreciate it. And next time is unfortunate. If I'm right about it, that is the next thing.
No,
right?
it is because I double checked with you.
Yeah, but I wasn't actually looking at my list when I told you that. I was just pretty sure. Yeah. So, for as many people as really want to do this, you can sit through Batman and Harley Quinn with us.
We will have help.
We're gonna have CJ with us, and he's not seen it, and we're gonna make him watch it.
Much like BVS.
We
have to share our pain.
That is going to be the one exciting thing about doing that. We promise we will. we promise we will actually look in that general direction and put our eyes on it, and not put buckets over our heads. But I'm gonna be tempted to get buckets. There will be bucket temptations.
I may take my headphones out for the singing.
Oh no, you have to listen. No, you have to. Because if you take your headphones off, then you're not allowed to say anything about it. You know, you can't be like,
that's fine. I'll do something else. I'll bring a crossword puzzle.
But now that you say that, I forgot about that scene. I'm sitting here going, oh no, you have to like, wait, I know what he's talking about. I know what he's talking about. That nails on the chalkboard.
It's going to be piped into our ears. It's not going to be on TV. It's going to be piped into our ears.
Yeah, and you know what? Just for good measure, we should project that. We should make CJ watch that a glorious projector on a glorious projector screen.
Yeah,
like we should have done this.
Yeah,
because that'll be nice and kind of back-ass words. Anyway, well, folks, see, like. Just thinking about that movie has got me swearing on Geekvolution, which I don't usually do. Anyway, folks, thanks a lot for watching. We sure appreciate it, and we'll see you again tomorrow, or Monday, whenever it falls. Maybe you'll get a weekend reprieve. I am Captain Logan.
And I'm Mark.
See you later, folks.